Back in the saddle for lulls after a hiatus. I'm Pete Overzet with Brick75, aka Brian Hooper. We're going to talk a little week one NFL DFS, what's been going on over at Run the Sims, a little sports betting talk, the usual. Let's do it.
Does he think? I think he thinks this. He thinks this is a go. Vegas Dave thinks this is a go.
Hot naked girls doing yoga.
What?
Why don't you just win like a man?
Random.org. Type in 1 for yes, 2 for no, and let the DFS gods pick for you.
And I'm absolutely begging you not to dupe us. Please don't dupe us. All right, Brian, how you been? How was your week one? It's been a couple of weeks since we talked.
Not bad. How about yours, Pete?
DFS wise, it was a mixed bag. Didn't take like a complete bath, but no sweats or anything. But I feel like, the season long bags, a lot of our fun players were off to fast starts. So no complaints. And I don't know, the way I like to play DFS and stuff, like I actually look forward to like the projections getting better and like things getting more efficient and then being like, okay, how can I try to exploit what everyone's doing? Where week one just feels so wide open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I mean, you could take advantage of it that way too. We talked about that on the show last week, where you could just hope things don't go the way it looks like the market's predicting in week one, and might not be the worst strategy, even though it sounds super simple.
I was mad that I didn't do the classic thing, which is sometimes the best scroll down plays on Underdog or whoever's chalk on DraftKings that people aren't getting to on Underdog, and that was Emeka Egbuka. And it was like, why? Emeka Egbuka is 30% on DK and barely drafted on Underdog. I'm like, why didn't I get tomorrow Emeka Egbuka? Yeah,
that happens every week too on Underdog. It seems like this guy's 30% owned and no one's taking. Well, because there's no salaries. There's no salaries on Underdog.
And there's the exact equivalent this week. I was doing my research and stuff, and it's Hollywood Brown for the Chiefs. He has 16 targets last week with Xavier Worthy out. And he's going to be mega chalk on DraftKings. I think he's like 5,100 this week. And he has like an ADP of 34.2 or whatever on Underdog. No one's clicking him.
Yeah. That makes sense. When Egbuka scored, I was like, shit, there's the chalk. Chalk scored week one.
That's how you know we're back. The first chalk touchdown score. We were so fully back.
That's one of the feelings, one of the sweat feelings. The like top 3 unenjoyable, it's up there where you don't have the chalk. It's like an afternoon game or something, it's like, everything's going okay. And it's like chalk eye touchdown. It's like, that you don't have.
Yes.
It's like, oh man, let's say you got like 125% prop, like your buy-in plus some right at that moment, if you didn't have that chalk guy, it's like you got like 15% of your buy-in.
I know. And I'd say the only thing worse is like when your key guy gets hurt, right? Like the first quarter, and then you're just like, I'm fucked.
It's definitely the worst is just like you're in first and you lose or something, like showdown or like NASCAR, something with a lot of variance right at the end.
Yeah.
Unless you're used to it, especially with NASCAR, just don't even look till it's over. Like if you're playing NASCAR DFS, but yeah, it's like, it could be like 13 seconds left in showdown. The quarterback kneels and you went from first to like 48th.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about Tuttle's story on the Swolecast?
I was listening to him tell this story, and I went to go to his Twitter to see like if he won something, and then tuned out. Totally ADHD the rest. What happened?
It was just, he had a bad beat. I think he was in like 4th place in the Millie for like 100K. And then that like Broncos like sack fumble thing at the very end of the game dropped him. But the painful part of the story was he wasn't even sweating it. He didn't even know that he had that team. He was doing dad stuff on Sunday, and someone tagged him in the Discord. It was like, dude, congratulations or whatever. And so he's like, all right, with the family, let me turn it on, only to watch his winnings. And he still won 40K, not a bad day, but it doesn't change the fact that when you think you're winning 100K and then have that stripped away from you.
Yeah. Oh, and also does he have a a jinx rule. Like he should have a jinx rule, and whatever he's getting tagged. You don't tag. I still understand this behavior of people where they will congratulate someone before the game is over.
I think it's both completely ludicrous, and also I think they're like 99.9% of the time well-intentioned.
Yes.
I don't think they're maliciously trying to be like, let me see if I could reverse jinx you or whatever. But it is a brutal thing.
I'm a little more cynical than you, Pete. You're right though, but I'm gonna go like 98%.
Someone's like, hey, if you tune in, I can watch the pain flow.
1 or 2 out of 100 are trying to fuck you. But
especially because everybody has like, to me, it's like you should mirror what the other person is doing. So like, say I was in Discord and I had a sweat and I'm talking about it, I'm like, holy shit, or like, oh my God. Then it's like, you can join in, you whatever. But if that person's quiet, it means they're maybe willingly not sweating, or they don't want to be sweating or whatever. Like if they're not there, just assume they don't want to be there. If they're there, type it away. Feel free to join it.
Yeah, it depends. Like, I think content creators are more open to it. So, like, I think, like, remember when J-Mac famously live streamed the Grand Medals and Grand Slam when he lost 250K in like a completely unlucky fashion live on YouTube or whatever. I think he's fine with you congratulating him, halfway
He'll
into
take that dopamine
first half. He'll screenshot it and go, it's a long way. It's great content or whatever. I think Adam Chip My Money's okay with it. I know Yuta's not. He believes in he's also on team you're jinxing me. I am. I think Shady is. Dan's in chat. Dan, I think, what team are you on?
I think we know based on this, friends don't let friends sweat showdown in NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm talking specifically about someone tagging you like, congratulations in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, or something, It's like, like, dude.
I think I told you, I don't know if I mentioned this, and it wasn't near as big of a sweat, but it was last year divisional round weekend. I was with my buddies, our annual trip, and I had like pulled up my underdog account and like I didn't see anything or whatever, but it's because I didn't notice I had been in some of those winner take all contests. So obviously it's either you're winning it or it shows 0. So I didn't even think to click in. And it was the fourth quarter, that Bills Ravens divisional round game. And someone tagged me like, holy shit, Pete's going to take down the, whatever it's called, the heat check or whatever. I didn't even know about it. I was just vibing with my buddies. We had our bets. I pull it up and I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm the favorite to win this. And then spent the whole fourth quarter agonizingly not getting like the 1 point I needed from Josh Allen and Khalil Shakur. And my buddies are like, dude, our bet's winning. Like, why are you sad? Why are you like so? And I'm like, I wish I never would have known about this. I could have just been blissfully ignorant.
That one's different too. That's like, if you're behind with no money and they're cheering on that lineup, I don't think that's as egregious as being in first.
As mushing it?
And congratulating you and mushing it. Yeah.
But I still, like, I didn't want to know. I was mentally in a good place.
Right. This is different. This is different. Yeah, that specific scenario, of course, you're right. But I don't know how I feel about the general, hey, I hope you come back in a winner take all format where you're not currently in first. Yeah.
The funny thing is I'm not going to be able to like hide from it this year because we're doing the Shipcast now Thursdays, the 4 p.m. late window. So we used to do it on the Thursday night football, like the companion stream. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't want to stay up anymore for these shitty Thursday night games. Yeah. And pitched to the fellas, like, let's do it Sunday afternoons, like the 4 p.m. window. We'll have more games to talk about. It will be a good problem to have if one of us has a legit sweat, but that will be on camera, whether you like it or not. Like there's going to be no hiding from it. Whereas typically last year on Sundays, it's like, I can either fully eject. It's just like, I go to the playground with April, or it's like, all right, Lauren, I'm locking in to watch this in every painful carry or whatever. But now I don't even have that choice.
No, you guys like have a duty to put your sweats up live on content.
Yes.
If you're doing that show, you gotta do it.
Oh, exactly. No, the hope is we actually get them, because it's like, that's what makes that so fun. I mean, the goal was to make it kind of Tilt Space meets Shipcast, where it's like, Joe and Leone and I did that show for a couple of years, And it was mostly miserable, not being with them, but like mostly us just getting our dick kicked in. But we had the 1 week where the lineup charged the leaderboards. We won like 50,000, and it was like euphoric. It was like, this is what it's all about, capturing on camera one really good sweat. Because as you know, playing DFS, you're going to maybe get one of those a year if you're lucky.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And in those cases, I guess I could understand this all being so confusing for people who aren't like in this world. In those cases, it's completely obviously okay to chat about your sweat and talk about it and cheer you on. I think like the behavior is kind of just similar to people who like reply to tweets for some reason. Like or some they'll like make comments out of the blue, like, well, I wouldn't have posted that choice. And it's like, why are you responding to me? Like, why are you doing this? They're the same ones who are like, hey, congratulations.
What was your Sunday routine week one? Or were you red zone the whole week?
I had family in town, so but I did red zone. I got the free NFL direct TV ticket. What's the ticket called? Whatever.
From DraftKings, right?
Yeah, but like the link didn't work for the first time, and they charged me. And so then I'm like, can you cancel this because it's supposed to be free? And then DraftKings sent a different link, and it worked. And then I think somewhere along the line, YouTube, while canceling it, canceled my free one. And so now I don't have the free one either. But I still have Red Zone. It's like, I don't fucking care anymore. Red Zone's plenty anyways. Yeah. It was like, a minute of commercials. Who cares? Like, I mean, I wish they would do it. But like, so it was Red Zone on one and then the CBS Fox on the other one.
So I made a joke on Sunday that I smashed my TV after that 30-second commercial on Red Zone. And then someone quote retweeted it and said that like they were being dead serious. And they were saying because I had done the YouTube TV thing with them, that I was now in the pockets of big YouTube and pushing these tweets to defend their decisions to have commercials.
Yeah, that was my burner, Pete. Okay.
I was like, yes, I'm definitely compromised now, defending YouTube, who doesn't have anything to do with
it is interesting though. They like take one step forward and one step back, in my opinion. Like for this kind of modern era we're in, they did exactly what we wanted, Pete. I mean, I wanted to talk about your appearance, which was great. You killed it. You're a total natural, and they did. But we talked years ago. We're like, why wouldn't they just let content creators release the streams? Let content creators do this. They actually hired content creators and released the stream, not to everyone, but like I saw other than your channel, like I Need Speed or whatever his name is, other creators. Yeah, they let a bunch of people do it. They did exactly what we wanted, and then for some reason they add a minute commercial to Red Zone. It's like how much money are you making from that, from the pushback you're going to receive? It seems like a complete waste of capital you gained from this streaming idea.
Yeah. And I mean, to be clear, that is because there was a lot of confusion. Like there was this thought that like it was ESPN, now that they had the deal with the NFL, that they were the ones pushing it. It's still Red Zone in the NFL's decision with that stuff. They were the ones who decided it. But it's funny you mentioned that, Brian, because like I got to, after the show on Friday, they had like a little meet and greet. It was also very funny. There were like some of the kids of like the YouTube execs that like wanted pictures with Brandon Marshall and Derek Carr and Tyrann Mathieu. And then they kept telling me to get in the photo with them. And I kept like having to apologize to these 13-year-old kids. I was like, sorry for ruining your photo with these former NFL athletes. But then I got to talk to like a few different YouTube execs, and I had the conversation with one of them and explained that exact thing about this idea of companion streams and how niche down everything's getting, and how fantasy people want to hear fantasy commentary. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you want to hear a Chiefs guy do it. And like, he was literally like kind of, I could see mentally kind of logging that away for stuff too. And I was like, that's the future. That's where we need to get with this stuff, where it's the rising tide lifts all boats. Mm-hmm. Like you're still going to get the advertising. You're still going to get all of that. Let people tap into what they want to tap into.
Yeah. It's like WGN for the Cubs, when the Cubs fans are like all over the countries because they were free on WGN, which is broadcast back in the day everywhere. And so you'd have Cub fans in Colorado, you'd have Cub fans in Florida, especially states that didn't have MLB teams or areas that didn't have MLB teams. A lot of times there were Cubs fans, Braves too, with TBS, but not to the same extent. And then when WGN kind of went away, or that contract went away, I think they lost a lot of that fandom. And I feel it's very similar. We got this new these guys, like I was trying to think of a stream where they were broadcasting simultaneously, not NFL specific. I can't remember, but the point remains the same. And let's say they're getting 100,000 live viewers.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you broadcast the Blackhawks game, at the same time or not. The guy's getting 100,000 live viewers. You could have those 100,000 watch your Blackhawks game, or you can't. You could allow them to, or you can't. But he's getting 100,000. They're not going to your stream. They're not watching the Blackhawks game. They're watching him or her or whatever. And it doesn't matter what you do it. And like, I don't know if you know this, but the Blackhawks were if they didn't sell out the game, they wouldn't broadcast the game to Chicago at all, Illinois at all.
Yeah, they used to do that like in San Diego all the time. The people couldn't watch the Chargers fans because they wouldn't sell it out.
And it kind of got popular. And I even like as a kid, I was like, this seems really dumb to me. Like, don't you think because like kids can't, like buy tickets to the game. You're really missing out on a huge portion of people. And I think it's pretty similar parallel that the kind of the world as it is, you don't have a monopoly on attention anymore. It's over. You have to adapt. You mentioned so like this, you were making distinctions. So like YouTube's different than NFL and this broadcasting thing is the distinction you were making.
Yeah. So YouTube just had the rights to that one game, that Chiefs Chargers game, but like they're not making the decisions on the commercials for Red Zone. That's an NFL Red Zone decision that they made to monetize it that way.
Okay. But the YouTube has like paid for the rights so they could stream it out to people.
Yeah. So they owned the rights to that game. And that's why I think they're uniquely positioned and why the NFL should continue to want to work with YouTube. Because you think about like legacy broadcast systems, if ESPN has the game, ESPN has their one traditional means. I guess they could stream it on their website if they wanted, but they want people to tune into ESPN to watch it. Whereas with YouTube, like they just want people on their platform, right? So if they have a bunch of creators co-streaming the game and you're funneling everyone there, like does YouTube really care if you're watching on my channel or Destroyer's channel or whoever's? Like they're getting the views, the revenue, the eyeballs, all of that. And so if you think about that, and when the NFL rights are up to be renegotiated here in a couple of years, and you're the NFL looking around of like, which platform can get this to the most eyeballs and grow the game most? I mean, YouTube is such an obvious answer.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I bet that exposure helped the NFL more than it helped YouTube. Like, it helps YouTube. They get eyeballs on there, but I'm sure letting big streamers stream it to their specific audiences that aren't even necessarily football audiences only helps football. I can understand though their perspective. From like just like run the Sims, I could see the subscriptions, in the background. Football is so much more popular than every other sport. Like you'd like don't even have to do any other sports. You just do football, and that's all that matters. It's so big. So I can understand where they're like, yeah, but we're still the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be interesting. I thought, obviously I'm biased, but like I thought YouTube did a good job where the way I've described it is like they kind of had to walk a tightrope walk, right? Where they want to make it their own. They want to make it feel YouTube-y different than like stuffy legacy broadcast, but it's also the NFL's product, and they're still trying to get in the good graces of the NFL long term with this stuff. So they actually have to show like, no, we can execute it. We can do the type of broadcast that you guys require, the standards you require. And obviously there's a little pushback that like, oh, some of the influencers on there, whatever, like didn't resonate with me. But like the whole point was to get it out in front of a non-football audience who might tune in because their favorite influencer is on there that might not otherwise watch the game. And I think they probably accomplished that.
Yeah. It doesn't kind of Taylor Swift make this example for us as well? Like, did you see that tweet? Someone had a pretty good tweet, like the evolution of the Swiftie And like the first tweet is like, guys, what's a first down? You know, it's like Taylor Swift fan #1, Twitter handle. And then like 1 year later, it's like this, dissection of the problems with the receiving shares and Andy Reid's handling of it and stuff. Yeah.
Well, it was because there was the clip even when she went on the Kelsey brothers podcast, and she was talking about like jumping around and screaming the night the Chiefs drafted Xavier Worthy at round 1. And it's like, okay, she's in deep if she's like excited about this random speedster the Chiefs drafted. Like she's now all in.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I'm sure that's picked them up some fans, but yeah, they're doing pretty. I imagine they're doing pretty well compared to the other sports. Maybe the other sports should take note.
Right. Like if I'm MLB, right? Like if you should be letting creators do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. I can't even. Who is a big baseball creator? Do they even have any?
I know Underdog has the big Jared Carabas, he's like a celebrity in Boston. He was the Barstool guy that now has his like Section 10 podcast for Underdog. And they have a pretty good YouTube presence. And I'm sure there's a few others that I'm not thinking of, but it's few and far between relative to football.
Yeah. I mean, and even if there's not, who cares? Like get adjacent streamers, like Madden streamers, get whoever, people who might be in the demographic to keep baseball, in the public eye. It's definitely their market share has gone down a lot since I was a kid, and it's a shame too because it's a great sport.
Well, even like he's another Underdog creator with a massive YouTube following, but Brett Coleman, and he's done some deals with the NFL where he's gotten access to like the NFL library of film and done like these old school videos, like getting to leverage like, stuff from the 80s and just all kinds of like access, which, the NFL doesn't even need to do that to get people to cover them just because, like you said, they're going to cover them regardless. But if you're the MLB, you should be like, here's the footage of everything. What do you need? Like creator, what do you need to make cool content? Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're still just like not at that place for how they think about it.
No, they'll be like, oh, okay, we hear you. We'll make a new deal with Bill Simmons. And it's like, yeah, that's not what we're talking about. Like I think they think like, I don't know. They're just like in a foreign time or an older time where it's more like public access TV or something. It's kind of icky. They don't want to let these YouTubers do it. They deal more with these institutions that have been around, these legacy institutions. But like the power or the attention of the legacy institutions is dwindling very quickly, and younger people do not watch that stuff. No, and I mean, I don't even think we shouldn't even be that far away from it. I mean, I mentioned it before, but the site Get Playback, we did that for a little bit. We were going to do it for the Red Zone, where basically you sign in with your cable credentials, and then they host the streaming. And it's like YouTube already has that with YouTube TV. It's like if someone already, like, I understand they're not paying for it, everybody else is, and then you're getting it. But if everyone just logs in with their credentials, and if you're not logged in, you still see the stream just without the football or whatever, like that's such an easy win for everybody. Yeah, there's got to be a happy middle ground there where they wouldn't lose so many Red Zone subscribers, but still get the reach. There's got to be something they could do. Yeah, especially if you're going to put commercials on it. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, subsidize it for the streamers. That's what the commercials need to be. How did things go at Run the Sims week 1? Obviously, you guys had a ton to kind of like get ready for, but everybody interacting with the site for, I assume, the first time for a lot of people. How did it go?
Pretty good. We had one big error was our data provider had like this bug that didn't work with our stuff, where it sent the Sunday night DraftKings slate the wrong information. So the Sunday night DraftKings slate got all fucked up. But other than that, basically everything else went pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And we're adding stuff every other day too.
Yeah.
We're adding stuff to the Draft Caddy too right now, Pete. So hopefully later today you'll have our projections overlaid on Underdog and DraftKings. It's automatically.
Nice.
And ownership should be working too for best ball, for Battle Royales.
Okay. Awesome. I will I'll make sure. Is that a new update to the caddy? Should I have that automatically?
It should automatically be on there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I will yeah, because I'm gonna do a stream today at 3:30 where I'm doing the best ball battle royale bash. And so I will try to get that loaded up in there for when I'm drafting. Is that the I'm looking at the columns, is that the NFL underdog ownership projection?
Probably.
Yeah.
I should know this.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, because then I can add team implied totals for NFL Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
There's
like team total. There's game total too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, spread.
Nice.
And
yeah,
then
looking forward to that.
Projections should be up there later today too. Which
I
should help
told you
for like especially hand builders or a late swap or something like that, where you need a quick projection on a player.
I was I think I told you this last year, but like I always looking at the ownership from the caddy along with kind of like the historical buckets that I've used, and it's crazy how close it maps, like just like nearly identical with that, with some slight variations for the onesie positions. Quarterbacks, tight ends can get a little different, but man, running back, wide receiver ADPs are like so sticky week to week with what their ADP translates to as far as ownership.
Makes sense. That makes sense. It's because it's a little bit cheating though, because there's so many 100%.
Yeah.
Because like just so many players are going to get drafted in every single draft, basically.
But I'm saying my eyes gravitate to the ones that aren't 100%, and those are the ones.
That's the ones that matter in battle royale for sure.
Yeah. Sure.
You get Ibuka at 5% owned. You're looking pretty damn good in battle royale.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in DFS.
No.
Where you can get such a big edge on the field. I mean, obviously it's hard because those guys are undrafted for a reason, but still.
Yeah. No, I was just doing, I'm doing a new stream for Fantasy Life this year where I do battle royale stuff. And so there were definitely people in the chat who weren't hardcore, who were kind of new to it. And I was, people were asking me like about these like super thin plays. They're like, can I play Mac Jones with Brock Purdy out? Or can I play Kendrick Bourne? And I'm just like, on DraftKings, like where that salary and that points per dollar works in your favor, like knock yourself out. But on Underdog, it's like you can play Hollywood Brown at a similar ownership who just got 16 targets in a game last week. Like you just don't have to get super fancy the way the Underdog draft game works.
At least their head's in the right space.
It is.
Their head's in the right. They're definitely watching your content, right? So at least their head's in the right space. But you don't, just like we do this with DFS too, right, Pete? Over the years, where it's where it's like, you don't want 1% guys in every single position on your team, guys. Like,
I wish that was stuff I needed to hear 5 years ago.
Right.
And it would. I still have a bunch of those videos. Actually, a lot of them I think got purged when I was doing them for Roto Grinders, and they had some like video purge where a lot of them got deleted, which is probably good. I mean, I'll never forget like Blender. I overheard him on a show once. He's like, I watched Pete's reviews. This is probably like 2016, 17. He's just like, I'm just screaming at the TV, with Peter's logic for trying to justify some of these moves he was making.
Combos too, for these newer guys is really big because like you can just kind of think this through in your head. Like let's say there's 3 players all 20% owned, but for some reason this wouldn't happen. But just for some reason, 2 of those guys have never played together in the same lineup. So their ownership's exactly the same, but that combo's never played. Like that's a huge edge. Now, obviously, if that high owned, that combo's going to be in there. But you get the idea. Is there's more to it than just 1% guy. Yep. Or in best ball, like you're saying, Mac Jones, because no one's taking him.
Yeah. How did you feel as the world's biggest Bears fan about the?
I fell asleep. And
that's impressive because I went to bed at halftime, but you're 2 hours ahead of me, so that's easy.
Yeah, I fell asleep in the lazy boy and woke up to the walk off, the Vikings walking off, shaking hands, and I was like, oh man! But I mean, I did see the lead change. And I was like, "Wow, dude, this is 21 in the fourth." Caleb was like looking good in the first 15 plays, I want to say. And
running a lot, which was cool.
Is there more to Tyson Bagent getting an extension than he's just a really nice guy? There might be a little more to it.
Either that, or I think it's because the equity of sideline interviews with his dad, who's a world famous arm wrestler, is just through the roof.
Yeah. I guess my buddy met him at a bar and like became friends with him, like friendly with him.
Tyson or his dad?
His dad.
Yeah.
But maybe Ben Johnson got in there and was like, his accuracy is a little shaky, and Tyson. Yeah. Tyson didn't look that good in last year, but no, the Bears' offense was really bad last year. So, yeah,
you're not inspiring confidence. If I ask a Bears fan how things are going and they get to Tyson Bagent within about 30 seconds,
week 2, Tyson. The backup quarterback is always the most popular player in Chicago. So, nothing new here.
And now they have a tough spot this week on the road at the Lions.
I
thought they kind of got stomped week 1, so they're rearing to go.
I thought the play calling was much better. The offensive line looked better. I liked that they were actually going for it on 4th down. Some modern play. So all that stuff is positive signs. But if Caleb doesn't figure it out, he's super athletic and can make plays when the other cornerbacks can't. But he was not very accurate, which I'm not a no baller, Pete, but I have played Madden, and you kind of need an accurate quarterback to win football games.
Yep. On Madden, do they have good high def on Caleb Williams' fingernails on there?
No, but he is like one of 5 quarterbacks that has his own unique running style. So Madden's expecting big things from him.
What is that? What does that even mean? Like they have
their animation looks different.
Okay.
Like Caleb runs like a duck. Kyler Murray runs like a duck, kind of. How he runs with his arms, like
just kind of like a little shuffling.
Yeah.
That's funny. What's going on in the Madden streets these days?
Chicago's own Henry just won the belt last night they have like 4 belts or something a year, and
it was a competition.
Yeah, like the Madden challenge. So just like the old school Madden bus, except now they do it in a location.
And who's this guy you mentioned?
He's like the Tom Brady kind of.
Is he your hero?
Madden.
Is he your hero?
No, he's not. He's just a kid. He's just a kid. None of these guys are my heroes, and especially the real life players. They're just big, dumb, young guys, but it's fun watching them bonk into each other.
How old is the kid that's
I would guess late 20s.
Okay.
Maybe 30. He's won 8 times, so I'm assuming he's pretty close.
Does he I assume he makes a living like as a pro?
Yeah, I think there's probably 10 guys who make a living playing Madden.
Yeah.
It's not something I think you should be trying to achieve. Yeah. They need to, I was thinking about it last night. They need to do, because the times have changed, but I think they'd be okay getting into the gambling world themselves somehow. These video games, because it's not 2005 anymore. I don't think anyone would care if they start allowing people to put $10 on a match or something, because then you could get $1 million prize pools and stuff.
Oh, easily.
And if you could do it from your council, and like, what moral high ground would anyone have now? Like every state has video poker machines everywhere. Sports.
Do you think the accusations of you using your glitches though would escalate if money was on the line?
Yeah, but like whatever, that happens everywhere. Like that would never. It happens already. There's accusations, Pete, of the professional athletes every week now, of the professional athletes cheating. Did you see that one with in the Bears game? The right edge like fell down instead of like sacking him. I don't know if you saw this one.
Mm-mm.
The right edge had a rush, and from the camera angle, it does look like he purposely got out of the way. But like if you look at the other ones, I'm assuming it's just like he got faked a little bit.
Yeah, people are saying there's already stuff like this. I thought you meant too low, like being able to like challenge someone in a head-to-head on Madden, and then it's like Madden essentially serves as the escrow for your like $25 bet and then releases it.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about like these private companies that host tournaments. I'm saying do it directly on the product.
Yeah.
Pay out cash, get cash. They're afraid of it because they're afraid of gambling and touching money and stuff like that. But I mean, like they have to be exploring it, or their CEOs is like should be fired. They're not doing. I'm not saying they should do it, but I'm sure they're exploring it.
Well, even on the FFPC with their matchups, they have this button where you can make a head-to-head side bet with whoever you're playing that week. Like you've already paid your entry fees, but you could be like, all right, let's put another $200 on it. Like,
do they charge?
That they have their like typical, like there's a rake on it. And
yeah.
I've never done it, so I don't even know what it is, but it is kind of like a fun little mini game. Like everybody's been talking. So Underdog has the Eliminator contest this year. And after week 1, it was 6 of 12 advanced from the pod, but now every matchup's a head-to-head. And that would be fun too, where it's like, if you could do a little side bet with your head-to-head, like through the Underdog app there, like, hey, let's put an extra $25 on this or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And it makes sense, like for the NFL to allow Underdog, DraftKings, blah, 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 like they're football business. But like Madden is a technology business. You know, there's easily crossover there that they could, that you can already buy stuff on Madden. Right? Like actually use physical money to buy Madden coins and stuff like that. So like, it seems like the integration for not just Madden, just any video game. I don't know. That's my prediction is that's around the corner. Maybe not for Madden, but like, I don't know, whatever, a first person shooter game or something.
Yeah.
What like, I would actually, the founding of this show, League of Legends, right? It seems like that should already be there.
Well, Bobby says Call of Duty had to remove wagering in game currency years ago. I think that'd be extremely hard to pass on a children's game.
Yeah, no, I think it wouldn't be that hard to pass. But
well, it is like it gets back into our typical things of like it ends up just being semantics. You think about it. What is it? Is it Candy Crush and all of these games where kids just like buy these add-ons and, you know, their parents have to put in all these guardrails. It's just like, because then the kids want the best, whatever. I'm so out of touch with these games, whatever the best tools.
Candy Crush is probably like 20 years old at this point.
Yeah.
But whatever they're called. I get your point. But like, yeah, of course it would be, they'd have to get age verified and all that type of stuff. Like, I mean, it would probably be worth it for them to not allow anyone under 18 or whatever, 21 anyways, for some of these games. The average video game player is like 40 years old now.
Is it really?
Yeah, like statistically. I'm not even making this up. I think it's high 30.
So young people aren't playing. Is it?
No, I just think old
30-year-olds are playing more, or young kids aren't playing as much.
Yeah, they just continue to play. Let's ask ChatGPT. How old is the average gamer? You know, ChatGPT switched to this Grok model.
Yeah, Tommy says, so you're actually saving the elderly of America, not the youth.
Do they need saving, Tommy? The average gamer in the US,
oh, go ahead.
The average gamer in the U.S. is about 36 years old, according to the latest data.
That I would have been way lower than that if you gave me a guess.
Yeah, I would have thought a little higher, honestly, but because I knew it was that high like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So I figured. Is
Grok your go-to AI over ChatGPT?
It's whatever's handy. If I'm right there on Twitter, I'll probably use Grok.
What do you think's better for like data stuff if you're like uploading CSVs or
I don't know, but I haven't used Grok for coding, but I've heard good things. I don't know if anyone in chat has been doing it. But I'm just so used to using ChatGPT for coding that I just instinctively go there. But maybe I should try Grok. I just did a little R stuff yesterday and just used Grok. Took 2 seconds.
Yeah. I was just curious about it because I've started just using Grok a little bit more, but mainly for just like text query type stuff. I haven't done any like
Claude. I canceled my Claude account. Claude is, I'm pretty sure it's Claude. That's that Anthropic, right? They're like very pro tracking and government involvement. So they will, if you like ask it like controversial questions, they will send information to the government. So I canceled my Claude account. I'm opposed to that, and I ask some weird shit, Pete. So which is totally fine the way. Like, why would you not ask weird, interesting questions?
What's the weirdest thing you've asked that you're willing to share?
Oh, I don't know. But like you could just ask stuff about history that they might find wrong. Like if you're asking questions about Hitler or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, there you go. If you ask it this stuff Brian is searching, it's a problem.
Some of it, yeah. And I don't really trust ChatGPT either, honestly. So we'll see. I might eventually cancel them. Yeah, but anyone who's interesting at all, or let me rephrase that. Anyone who is curious at all, you could look at their text messages. Anyone who's funny, you could look at their text messages with their buddies and totally ruin them. You know what I mean? And take it out of context and all sorts of things, including you, Pete, me and you both. And so, like, yeah, if you're like openly stating you're going to share this information with the government, I'm not going to use you. No offense to the Claude lovers out there.
The Claude lovers they've never been so mad. They're shaking their fists at you right now.
Literally shaking right now.
It's the first I've heard of I obviously there's AI tech wars going on, but I didn't know the AI cultural wars were heating up, and now you have to pick.
I don't know how's that culture. Oh, because their own culture, you're saying amongst the AI. That's kind of true because like Sam Altman and Elon are now enemies. And they're definitely kind of culturally in two different camps.
Did you see that? Someone said talk politics. Great day to talk politics. Yeah, but specifically on that, not on what everyone thinks is politics right now. But did you see the White House tech dinner? Like, did you see some of the clips of that where it's like Zuckerberg was there and Altman, and then some of the like All In podcast dudes were there?
No, I missed it somehow.
I just saw a couple clips on TikTok, and it was so cringe just because they were going around the table and like kind of kissing the ring, and like they're all so autistic. Like Mark Zuckerberg, like just one of the worst public speakers I've ever heard. Just like, thank you, Mr. President, for having us. It's like such an honor to be here with such a pro tech forward president. And like they're all just like mumbling through. They're like, we're so glad to be here. And then like Chamath is just sitting over in the corner with his wife, like smiling. I was like, this is so cringe.
That like milieu of tech bro is so like universal. It's who's the other guy? And was it Mark Andreessen? I've seen a couple of them, you know, like on like Rogan.
Yeah, I've seen clips of that Mark more and
they
more.
All have that manner of speaking, like the Elon you know, like Peter Thiel. It's a little variations amongst them, of course, as all humans are. But like they pretty much all have it, which is why probably Chamath's like, I don't know, probably not actually a tech bro because he doesn't really have it. He's a dork or whatever, but like he doesn't have that stammering tech bro way of speaking.
Sam Altman is a little bit more competent as a public speaker, but
he up talks a lot
faster.
He up talks a lot, like Davis. You know, everything at the end goes up. You know.
Oh man, that's how far we've come with Davis. That used to be the main thing that I haven't heard an up talk reference in forever. That used to be the hallmark of a Davis impression. Yeah,
Altman's probably a fraud too. Although I told you this before, all these effective altruist bros like Sam Bankman-Fried, I wouldn't trust them as far as I could fucking throw them. And you could throw most of them pretty far because they're all like skinny dorks.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Thursday night football tonight. We did have kind of a depressing update with all of the sports betting stuff here. I can pull up this tweet. What was did this come out yesterday, Brian? 2 days ago?
Oh, the tax thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple days ago. I saw there's been, I'm sure a lot of people are following the same people we are. This is that rep. What is she? Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
She introduced a bill to get rid of that gambling tax that was in the big beautiful bill. Everyone's familiar with. It's basically you can only deduct 90% of your gambling losses, but still have to pay on all your winnings. Yeah, it sounds like it will not be called. The thing I wanted to mention on this, Pete, was like this: the reporting on this is so weak. So like when I was working at the state, like every bill, everyone knew how everyone was going to vote. Like that's your job. That's like the job of a lot of people to find out how everyone's voting, and the leadership needs to know who's voting for what. And like there's a roll call. It's called roll call. Like you're literally going to get a bunch of calls before the bill, and how are you voting on this? Why are you voting on this? From a bunch of different stakeholders, interested lobbying groups and representatives from the government staff, from the governor's staff or from agency staff, et cetera, et cetera. Everyone knows how the bill's going to go. It's very rare they don't know how the bill's going to go. Very rare. And it's usually just like really big political issues that are in the news and like they have no choice, especially at the federal level, like where like Joe Manchin or whatever can't like go against his constituency and he might have to vote the wrong way. But it's usually like one or two people for obvious reasons. They all know how the bill's going to go. So like maybe this rep is young and she doesn't know what's going on or something, but like she's probably just playing this up.
The tweet was, unfortunately, the GOP-controlled Rules Committee did not accept the Fair Bet Act as an amendment to the NDAA. This was an easy fix that should have been adopted. Nonetheless, I will continue to build support to restore the 100% gambling loss deduction. So, like, how do they just have like unlimited shots to try to get an amendment like between now and then?
For at the state level, it's probably the same thing. At the federal level, you have a session where the Senate and the House are there, and it's usually the beginning of the year till like May or something. They're there for like 3 or 4 months, and then they call it, and then they come back during special session near the end of the year. There's also some committees that work to eliminate like waste, fraud, and abuse, or eliminate wasteful legislation that could get passed through this special committee. I guess it depends on which state you're on, but mainly there's a specific session where Congress is in, and then they're out for the year. At the federal level, I'm not sure. It's probably something like that, but the leadership can call the people back to vote on something, I think, at any time. And once a bill is introduced, at least in our state anyways, it's on for that congressional cycle or that state cycle. So it's 2 years. So if you introduce a bill, it's there until there's a new election for the House.
Yep. Yeah, this Twitter account here, Fair Bet Act Tracker, says there's 3 paths now. You keep it as a standalone bill, but they have a really low pass rate historically. He says, or you attach it to other must-pass legislation bills with a near 100% need to pass, such as defense spending. Or we can pursue it via Senate action. We have an opportunity there to skirt around the House Rules Committee rejection. The Senate could include it in their reconciliation package.
Right, which is kind of like just a variation of putting it in a big omnibus bill.
Yeah.
Like a must-pass bill. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But like I was saying, I think everyone there who works there knows exactly what's going on, and there's no reporting on it. It wouldn't even be, to me, it would seem like it wouldn't be that hard. Like someone should know a staffer who's at an agency that this would matter or something, and be like, what's going on? How many people are voting for this? who was pushing it. Like everyone who works at Capitol knows that's exactly how everything works.
Yeah.
And, like, but this game, the reason I was like bringing this up is I hate this little game. It's like, like, oh, we're just going to introduce a bill and then, people are going to read it. And then, oh, I don't know how I'm going to vote tomorrow. Let me read this bill. Like, this character of how things work like that. It's like, that's not how it works. It's like, oh, I can't believe they didn't call it. I thought we were going to read this legislation I introduced and then have a vigorous debate, a back and forth debate. I think those days are long gone, by the way, in real life too. But, like, come on, lady, like, everyone, anyone who knows anything about this stuff is like, you have to roll call and check what everyone says on this legislation. Now, most of the time, they don't even know this stuff exists. They don't know anything about it. They're not going to fucking read it. They're doing what the party leadership wants. That's like 95% of bills. And so, like, you don't even need to roll call them, but you might want to anyways.
Yeah.
But like most of the time, and then they could even play games upon that. So like they could send, if the leadership isn't getting the responses from their party that they want, they could send the bill to a special committee that has even smaller amount of partisans. This would happen here all the time, especially tax related stuff, because that really matters, especially at the state level. The speaker would send tax related bills that he was concerned with to a special tax committee of his 3 closest allies. And so that shit's not getting anywhere. If you want something, you're giving something to him. Like literally, like you're going to big donation to the party or something like that. He's in jail right now, by the way.
Yeah. John Aguiar, who used to work for DraftKings, a poker player, he says his take is the GOP is not going to let a Dem get credit for fixing this. This fix will only pass when it's put forth and sponsored exclusively by Republicans.
Yeah, but it already is, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there's some GOP reps who have it. I mean, I suppose that's true, but like, it's not really that kind of issue, I don't think. I mean, you could also make the argument the other way around, where you let a Dem have it and then you say you could condemn it and pass it at the same time. You win both sides. You can go like, gambling's bad, right? And the Dem's the one who brought this back. So I don't know. Gambling's bad, but then, you make all the casino interests happy or whoever's behind this. So, but what, I mean, who knows? It's just like, it's lame that there's no reporting and they all know how likely it is this bill is going to pass and who's stopping it and who introduced it. They know. I'm telling you, they know.
Anecdotally, I literally during this segment scrolled through all of the quote retweets of this post from Dina Titus, and I would say it was about 50% poker players, 50% sports bettors who were there. I did not see any DFS quote retweets. I don't know what that means for the health of the DFS ecosystem if DFS players aren't as interested.
Yeah, good point. But I think it's because it sounded like the tax attorneys who've commented on this seems like DFS they think is most likely not going to be affected or very much affected by the way they're currently. I don't know if that's true, and I think we should be complaining a little bit more or chimping out, as the kids say. But I'm guessing that's probably the reason why you're not seeing so many DFS retweets, because they feel pacified by the accountants. But I don't know. To me, it seems like DraftKings can easily go like, we don't want to risk it. We're going to just do it the way like this legislation says, even for DFS.
Well, that's what the NRP says. Is there a way DraftKings could circumvent this bill, like with rules through a voucher ticket system like Stake?
Yeah, but like what why, to help you? Like,
right. Wasn't it revealed that they were part of the, like when they were looking at like who funded that campaign and stuff to even get this in the first place? Weren't some of those bigger companies actually on board with it because it smoked out the profitable bettors?
Was it? I don't remember. I sent you that one where he comments on why they limit players.
Oh yeah, you did send me that.
That one's pretty good. But like the point, the NRP 8598, like this is my theory, but like I think their goal is to become one of like 3 sports books, online casinos in the country, and to siphon off competition. And a good way to do that is to get legislation. Like they're not opposed to legislation as long as it kills competition. And so like the idea of like, oh, this is bad for our customers or something like that. Like maybe they kind of think that or something, but I'm telling you, like, I think this is where it goes. Sorry, Pete, go ahead.
Oh, no. I had just pulled out because you jogged my memory because you had sent this to me. DraftKings CEO Jason Robbins spoke at a Bank of America event Thursday and was asked about prediction markets. Here's a snippet in which he explains why he thinks it's hard for a prediction market to offer what an online sportsbook can. And so then he highlights this part of the thing. He said, the other thing I would say is just if you think about it conceptually, it's going to be very difficult to ever have as full featured an offering in a prediction market setup as you could in an online sportsbook. And then he emphasizes one of the chief reasons being risk management. When you are putting as a market maker, a market up on an exchange, you just have to be comfortable with anyone taking that liquidity. Anyone can fill that order versus we are able to place limits on sharps and other people. And that is the only reason we're able to offer the variety of bets and things that we can.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, we all know that this is true. Like this isn't surprising. And yet it still is like somewhat jarring to see it said out loud.
It's pretty crazy. I love it. Like the least inflammatory thing is also even insane. You're not insane, but you just have to be comfortable with anyone taking that liquidity. Yeah, that's called like a sports book. That's like called what you're doing.
Right. The whole thing, right, is that you take your cut and it doesn't matter to you what side wins, right? Because the house is going to win no matter what, which is the same for the prediction market. But this is like even tilting the odds even further in your favor.
It's like a racetrack or something. You know, it's like, wait, we have to be comfortable with just anyone coming up and placing a bet at the counter? We can't just deny, randomly or people we think might be smart.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's kind of the whole idea of this idea. Otherwise, we would just bet with each other. Otherwise, it would just be, anyone betting with each other. The limiting. Yeah, quiet part out loud. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to see here. Just CEO of the largest U.S.-based sports betting company admitting his multi-billion-dollar firm can't do what some offshore sports books have done for over 25 years.
I think the limiting too is kind of similar to the idea we were talking about with the major sports and content. Is like, I'm not sure it helps them as much as they think it helps them. And I was thinking of this. What do you think about this compromise? Now, this is not how the real world works, but like, let's just say it actually did work this way. I think a good legislative compromise would be, and this won't be popular with sports betting syndicates, but would be to make syndicate penalties stronger and allow some sort of leniency for individual betting, limiting, and caps. I think that would be a fair trade-off. Because in my head, and maybe I'm wrong, I would imagine DraftKings loses or whoever source would probably loses the most to syndicates. They're not losing money to the ETR props dudes. Those guys are probably betting sides and totals a little bit. They're probably not losing that much to them, or probably
because they're trying to keep their account healthy.
Right? Sure, yeah. But like, even if that guy wins, $20,000 or something a year, like that doesn't matter to DraftKings. The syndicates, however, are probably taking a healthy cut out of DraftKings. Probably the vast majority of winning is probably through the syndicates. And if you made the penalties for that real strict and then made an example out of a few people, I'm not advocating for this. I'm just saying this could be a logical compromise. And then,
but isn't the whole point of a syndicate that they've masked their play in a way that they don't know it's a syndicate?
Well, yeah, but if the risk outweighs the reward, you wouldn't do it, right? Because if you did get caught and you got 20 years jail time, is that really worth it? So So like they'd have to make that risk. And then if you have a couple high profile busts, you're going to deter a lot of people. Now people would still do it, but it would just minimize it. And you, in theory, then would allow the everyday bro to have some sort of edge. And then, I don't know what you cap that off on anyways. But anyways, I'm only saying that for like podcast discussion. In real life, it would never work like that. Like that, they would eventually take the penalties for the syndicate and then limit you anyways because they have lobbyists there forever. They're there forever. You're not. And they would eventually legislate that away too. And so I wouldn't even make that deal. And you don't even have power to make a deal. They don't care. They're going to win. You're going to lose. But in theory, that would be, I think, a fair compromise, although I'm sure controversial in the sports betting community.
Oh, yeah. All right, Brian. Well, we covered a wide range of subjects on today's lulls. We will be back tomorrow for the Block Party / Bully the Sims DFS show. Do we know are you joining again with Yuta? Do we know who the Run the Sims guest is for tomorrow?
Yuta is my understanding.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Excited. Yeah. We had our first show. We had to record early. We had kind of a lot of degree of difficulty things. I think tomorrow will be a very strong show now that we're all kind of back in a rhythm with everything.
And when are we coming on? 2 Eastern? You're starting at?
Yeah, 2:15. I think 2:15 would be good. I normally go about 75 minutes with JM. So plan on 2:15. And for everyone else, it'll just be the same block of shows. It's just that link that I'll get. I haven't uploaded the event yet. But JM up top, Brian and Yuta, and then I'll roll right into Off and On the Clock with the Badge Bros. So full day of DFS content tomorrow. But even despite the challenges, people loved the week 1 video, hit almost 10K views. I saw lots of people signing up for Run the Sims. You guys can take advantage of that promo code Pete there to get 10% off. I know a lot of people had been trying different things, whether the weekly pass, getting the Sim Runner for the whole year, all kinds of stuff. Any other feedback you guys were getting on week 1, Brian?
No, just they want like a feature request, thing, different little bells and whistles added. And we're going to have a few before Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled. Brian and I will be back regularly here on Lulz every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm doing another show in an hour, the Battle Royale Bash. I did the Bash during the summer. I thought I was just going to be a summer thing. And then I was like, you know what? We had a lot of fun drafting with you guys in season. So going to keep that, or off season. Let's keep that rolling. And we'll draft some Battle Royale teams. We'll spin the wheel. You can hop on, draft a couple teams with me. And we'll have a little bash this afternoon. But otherwise, if you guys are audio listeners, we'll always get this audio up on the Lulz podcast feed as well. If you want to take these to go, the video's uploaded there as well. So if you're a Spotify video person, we got you covered. Otherwise, for Brick, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys next time.